Welcome back, everyone. We're ready to kick off another deep dive.
And this time, we're tackling a topic that's been on everyone's mind lately. Portable HEPA air filters.
Oh, yeah. This is one of those things where I knew air purifiers existed, but wow, there are so many choices out there.
Exactly. You can easily get lost in the sea of brands and models and all those tech specs.
So thankfully, you've provided us with this incredible resource to make sense of it all, the HvacRepairGuy HEPA air filter ratings.
It's a fantastic guide, super thorough, breaks down everything.
Like seriously thorough, over 310 models and 115 brands. Where do we even begin?
Well, this guide, it actually uses this cool color-coded rating system.
I love a good color-coded system. Makes it super easy to digest. So green means go, yellow means proceed with caution, and red means run for the hills.
Exactly. So if you're looking for the top picks, just look for the green.
Perfect. So according to HvacRepairGuy, who takes the crown for 2024.
Well, their top pick is AC Cool.
Okay, cool. Okay, so what makes AC Cool stand out from the crowd?
Well, first of all, they've got that classic three-stage filtration system. Pre-filter, carbon filter, and that true HEPA filter that everyone's looking for.
Right, the trifecta of clean air.
Exactly. So it tackles dust, allergens, odors, all that good stuff. And they're also known for being whisper quiet.
Ah, that's key, especially if you're putting this in a bedroom. Who wants a noisy air purifier keeping them up at night?
Exactly. So their 84 model, in sleep mode, it operates at just 24 decibels.
24 decibels? That's like quieter than rustling leaves.
Pretty much. Now, they also have this AF1 model, and this one has a fourth purification stage, something called an ionizer.
An ionizer. Okay, I'll admit, that sounds a bit intimidating. What exactly does an ionizer do?
It's a pretty cool technology, actually. So it releases negatively charged ions into the air.
Ions. Okay, keep going.
And these ions, they attach themselves to particles in the air. Dust, pollen, smoke, you name it.
So they become like little particle magnets.
Exactly. And once those particles are weighed down with ions, they drop out of the air, making them easier to clean up.
That's actually super clever. So it's like an extra layer of defense. Especially good for folks with allergies or asthma, right?
Right. But there's a little caveat here. Some ionizers, they can produce a small amount of ozone as a byproduct.
Ozone. That's the stuff we want to avoid up in the atmosphere.
Exactly. But at ground level, it can also be an irritant, especially for people with sensitive lungs.
Got it. So something to keep in mind. Now, moving on to another brand, one that caught my eye for a completely different reason, Afolaya.
Afolaya, yeah. They're known for some interesting features.
Their Kilo model specifically. This thing has a 7-color LED light built in.
It's definitely a feature you don't see on every air purifier.
I mean, an air purifier with mood lighting? I don't know how I feel about that. Is that going a bit too far?
Well, it depends on your priorities, right?
I guess so. Like if you want a night light or enjoy a bit of ambient lighting, maybe it's a cool bonus.
Exactly. But if you're purely focused on air purification, maybe those extra bells and whistles aren't worth the extra cost.
Speaking of bells and whistles, what about features like aroma pads or essential oil diffusers? Do those actually improve air quality, or are they just, I don't know, masking odors?
It really depends on what you're looking for. Aromatherapy, some people swear by it.
I can see how certain scents can be calming.
Right, but for others, it can be overwhelming, even triggering, if you have sensitivities.
Makes sense. Let's shift gears now to a brand with a totally different approach. AirDog. They're all about this TPA technology.
TPA, it stands for Targeted Pollutant Annihilation. It's pretty cutting edge.
And their big claim is it eliminates the need for replaceable filters. Wait, what? How is that even possible?
It's pretty wild. Instead of relying on those traditional filters, AirDog uses an electronic field to capture pollutants.
An electronic field? Sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie.
It kind of is. Imagine air passes through this charged field and then zap. The particles become ionized and stick to a collector plate.
So it's like a high-tech bug zapper, but for dust and allergens.
Exactly. And the biggest trick, you never have to buy those expensive replacement filters.
That's got to be good for the wallet and the environment.
Absolutely. So it's definitely an attractive feature for some people.
But I did notice that some AirDog models are super quiet, like whisper quiet, while others can be pretty loud.
Yeah, noise level is something to pay attention to for sure.
Especially if you're thinking about using an air purifier in your bedroom or your office where you need to focus.
Absolutely. You don't want something humming away and distracting you. Always check those decibel ratings before you buy.
Good advice. All right, let's move on to a brand that scored a perfect 5-star rating from HvacRepairGuy, Air Health.
Air Health. They're definitely a top contender. They go above and beyond with their features.
Like what? What makes them so special?
Well, they've got a 5-stage purification system.
5 stages. We've been talking about 3 stages like it's the gold standard.
It is for most brands.
Yeah.
But Air Health, they take it up a notch. They include UVC light, which helps neutralize germs and bacteria.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. So that adds an extra layer of protection, especially if you're concerned about like cold and flu season.
Exactly. And they also have this technology they call ProCell. It targets those volatile organic compounds, or VOCs.
VOCs, the silent air quality assassins.
Right. They come from all sorts of everyday products, paints, cleaning supplies, even furniture. And they can really affect indoor air quality.
Okay, so it sounds like Air Health is packing some serious firepower. But I'm guessing all that comes with a hefty price tag.
They are a bit pricier than some of the other brands, yes.
So it comes down to weighing those features against your budget.
Exactly. You have to ask yourself, are those extra features essential for your needs? Or can you get by with a more basic model?
Good point. Okay, let's do a quick rundown of some other notable brands. First up, DUPA. And get this, their blue model is an air purifier with a built-in planter.
It's a really cool concept, bringing a bit of nature indoors.
I love that. Clean air and a touch of greenery. What's not to like? Now, a brand everyone knows, Dyson.
Dyson. They're known for their sleek designs and powerful technology.
They're a household name for a reason, right? But they also tend to be on the pricier side.
That's true. They do come at a premium, but they're known for their quality and performance.
Okay, next up, Medify Air. They're offering a lifetime guarantee. That sounds almost too good to be true. Is there a catch?
Well, you do have to make sure you replace the filters as recommended.
Ah, okay, so there's the fine print.
But if you're diligent about maintaining your purifier, that lifetime guarantee can give you some serious peace of mind.
All right, fair enough. Moving on to Molecule. They have this PICO technology that sounds super fancy. What's the deal with that?
PICO stands for photoelectrochemical oxidation. It's a mouthful, I know.
It does sound pretty high-tech.
It is. It's basically an advanced oxidation process that uses light to break down pollutants at a molecular level.
Wow, they're not messing around. And finally, NUAV. Their OxyPure Zero Smart Air Purifier claims to have filters that never need replacing.
Well, not never. But they use this special BioGuard filter that's designed to be self-cleaning.
So it's a more sustainable and potentially more cost-effective option in the long run.
Exactly. So it's definitely something to consider.
Wow, we've covered a lot of ground already. It's clear there's a whole world of air purifiers out there.
And it's not just about brands and models. There's a lot to think about when it comes to features, filtration types, and the science behind how these things actually work.
It can feel a bit overwhelming, to be honest.
I know. But that's why we're here, to break it all down and help you make sense of it.
Exactly. So let's take a quick breather and come back in part 2 to really dissect what we've learned and help you choose the perfect air purifier for your needs.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the world of air purifiers.
I feel like we've just scratched the surface. So many brands, so many features. Where do we even begin to choose?
Well, let's start by breaking down the essentials. What are the must-knows when you're shopping for an air purifier?
Okay, good point. Back to basics. We've talked a lot about these filtration stages. What's the deal with those?
Well, most basic air purifiers, they have a 3-stage filtration system.
3-stage? Yeah.
3-filter, that's your first line of defense, catches those larger particles, like dust and pet hair.
The big stuff.
Exactly. Then you've got the carbon filter. This one tackles odors, absorbs gases, keeps things smelling fresh.
So it's not just about the visible stuff, it's about those invisible odors, too.
Right. And finally, the star of the show, the HEPA filter. This is the one that captures those tiny microscopic particles like allergens and pollutants.
HEPA. That's the acronym I always hear about with air purifiers.
It's the gold standard for air filtration. Stands for high efficiency particulate air. So those 3 stages, that's your basic setup.
Okay, 3 stages. Got it. But I know some of the models you talked about, they go beyond that, right?
They do. Some air purifiers have additional stages, like a UVC light. That helps kill germs and bacteria.
Oh, so it's like adding an extra layer of sanitization to the air?
Exactly. And then there are models with specialized filters for specific concerns, like VOCs.
Right, those volatile organic compounds we talked about.
Yep, those sneaky chemicals that can lurk in everyday products.
Okay, so filtration stages, check. What about size? How do you know what size purifier you need for your space?
Ah, good question. That's where CADR comes in. Clean air delivery rate.
CADR. Another acronym to remember.
I know, there's a lot of jargon in this world.
Yeah.
But CADR, it's basically a measure of how effectively an air purifier can clean the air in a specific room size.
So bigger room, bigger CDR?
Pretty much, yeah. You want to match the purifier CADR to the square footage of your space. No point in getting a tiny purifier for a massive living room, or vice versa.
Makes sense. And of course, we can't forget about noise level. That was a big one for me.
Oh yeah, noise level is crucial, especially if you're using an air purifier in your bedroom or anywhere where quiet is important.
Right, you don't want it to sound like a jet engine taking off.
Exactly. Always check those decibel ratings. Lower decibels mean quieter operation.
Good tip. And then there are all those extras, the bells and whistles, smart home integration, app control, air quality sensors. Are these things worth considering?
Well, they can be nice to have for sure,
Yeah.
especially if you're into that whole smart home ecosystem.
I can see the appeal. Being able to control everything from your phone.
Right. And those air quality sensors, they can give you real-time data on the air you're breathing.
But are they essential?
It depends. It's really about weighing those features against your budget and your needs.
Right. Do you really need all the bells and whistles, or can you get by with a more basic model?
Exactly. Sometimes simple is best.
Okay, so we've covered filtration stages, size, noise level, extra features. Is there anything else we should be thinking about?
Well, it all comes down to doing your research. We've given you a good overview here, but there's always more to learn.
True.
Read reviews, compare specs, really dig deep and figure out what matters most to you.